You know the feeling. You're exhausted, not from physical labor, but just from thinking. Your mind runs in endless loops, mapping out everything you should be doing, while your body remains frozen in place, staring at the ceiling. It's a strange trap. You possess all the information you need. You know the exact steps required to improve your health, fix your finances, or advance your career. Yet when it comes time to actually execute the work, an invisible weight pins you down. Curiously, look at this process. Your mind operates exactly like a physical muscle. When you surround it with constant, cheap comfort, scrolling, binge-watching, avoiding difficult tasks, it shrinks and weakens. Without resistance, your mental resilience effectively atrophies. By constantly dodging friction, you aren't saving energy. You are actively lowering your baseline tolerance for stress. That is exactly why even the smallest everyday tasks suddenly feel like climbing a mountain. Let's break down how this paralysis actually functions. The cycle starts with a simple delay. You overthink the perfect way to start a task, which creates anxiety, which leads you to put it off entirely. Over time, that temporary procrastination hardens into a permanent default state. 3 specific behaviors keep you locked in this state. First, you complain about your situation. Second, you manufacture logical-sounding excuses for why you can't act today. And third, you immediately seek out a digital or physical comfort to soothe the guilt of your own inaction. Every time you verbalize an excuse or complain about how unfair things are, you are making an active choice. You are verbally agreeing to remain powerless, volunteering to be a victim of your own circumstances. This entire loop is a self-inflicted prison. If you continue to reject friction, you guarantee that months and years of your life will simply slip away without a single step of forward momentum. Here is the harsh reality about your comfort zone. Nobody is coming to pull you out of it. There is no rescue team. The longer you stay wrapped in that safety, the deeper the trap becomes. Look at David Goggins. Long before he was known for his endurance, he was an overweight, out-of-shape pest control worker who hated his life. He represents the exact opposite of the trapped, fragile mind. He decided to try out for the military, but he faced a massive mathematical problem. To even qualify for Navy SEAL training, he had to lose over 100 pounds, and he had exactly 3 months to do it. He didn't wait to feel motivated. He woke up at 4 a.m. every single day and ran miles. He forced his body to keep moving when his brain was screaming at him to stop, preparing for the punishing environment of the surf. Goggins' results prove that mental toughness is not handed out at birth. It is a callus, and you only forge that callus in the exact painful moments where you desperately want to quit, but force yourself to take one more step anyway. This chart illustrates a core Stoic principle, the mathematical breakdown of your reality. Life is exactly 10% what actually happens to you, and a massive 90% how you choose to react to it. To control that 90%, you must reframe how you process resistance. When you encounter a setback or a failure, you stop viewing it as a roadblock and start seeing it as a necessary training exercise. Hard times are a factual guarantee of being alive. The pain that comes with them is inevitable, but the suffering you experience afterward is entirely optional. Suffering happens when you resist reality. It is the friction of wasting your energy wishing a bad situation hadn't occurred, instead of simply dealing with the facts on the ground. To stop that resistance, you need a tactical tool, the 5-second pause. When a stressful event triggers anger or fear, you stop. You take a deep breath and count to 5. This severs the immediate link between your raw emotion and your physical action. By forcing that brief window of silence, you actively deny your emotions the chance to dictate your behavior. Mastering that pause gives you absolute control over your decisions. Most people rely on motivation to get started. They wait until they feel energized, or they hold out for the perfect moment. Operating this way guarantees failure, because feelings are inherently temporary. Some days you wake up ready to work. Other days you want to do absolutely nothing. You cannot build a reliable life on something so unpredictable. You must replace it with the cold necessity of discipline. Discipline is highly specific. It is the strict ability to execute what needs to be done, regardless of your internal emotional state. You don't need to feel like waking up early, you just put your feet on the floor. True mental strength is never about feeling hyped up or inspired. It is the silent, relentless execution of your duties when you feel absolutely nothing at all. Setting a massive goal gives you a target, but mathematically, the target means nothing without a system. If your goal is to get fit, your system is the strict routine of going to the gym 5 days a week, no matter what. To build that system, you need daily habits that introduce friction. Take a cold shower to practice facing immediate discomfort. Exercise daily to link physical exertion with mental endurance. Meditate to practice focusing your attention. The core rule here is simple, but entirely non-negotiable. You must complete at least one intentionally difficult task every single day. This graph highlights exactly how progress works. Notice the flat, erratic spikes of relying on random motivation compared to the steady curve of discipline. Those unsexy, repetitive daily actions geometrically compound over a year to yield massive, undeniable results. When you stop negotiating with your comfort zone and adopt a mindset that refuses to break, your daily decision-making shifts. Committing to these small, frequent discomforts builds the resilience needed to move from a state of paralysis toward relentless, forward progress.